what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Real Talks Podcast. I have a great pleasure of inviting and interviewing this amazing lady that I met at TEDx stages not too long ago. But I'll let her introduce herself. But she is the founder and CEO of Divine Wellness LLC. Um, my friend Tasha Salinas, what's up, girl? How you doing?
I'm doing great, Jay. Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here and I'm going to try to hold it together, but I'm just
You got
really,
this.
really happy. I know that this day is so powerful for us.
Yeah.
And the day that you see this is the day that you're meant to see this. And we've just got a lot
Mm,
of energy we get to play with today. So thank you.
yes. I love that. I love that. And for our viewers who have not had a chance to get to know you first, could you tell us who you are, what you do, and how you help others?
Absolutely. Well, my name is Tasha Salinas, and I help people who struggle to consistently feel inner peace. I am a
Mm,
certified enlightenment coach. I teach people how to know themselves to the nth degree. I help facilitate through my own story the ability to truly remember who you actually are divinely, and that orients your way that you go throughout the world. And so that is a place from inner peace. And that's what I get to do in this life. So I love it.
that's so awesome. That's so awesome. Well, thank you for what you do. My follow-on question for that, Tasha, is how could you walk us through how you got into this role and how did you get started?
Oh, it's my favorite question. I love to tell my story. So, first of all, I've always just been a speaker. I've always been given a microphone, a platform, but I've also always been like the ugly duckling. Like we all know this
Mm,
story, right? And so I'm biracial, multi ethnic, and I've got a black family, a white family. Like I grew up in the military and I had to make friends
wow.
really, really quickly. And
Yeah.
because, like, at any point, like you could be gone or I could be gone. So it's like get deep fast. And to fast
Yeah.
forward, I learned very early on how to dissociate. When things started to
Mm,
feel too heavy or too much, I learned at a very early age how to get out of my body. And that's trauma, and that's what trauma was. And so I didn't know until I knew that a lot of my responses were just traumatic recreations and me living out old generational wounds in my right now. And so what
wow.
catalyzed me is 2020. And my life was chugging along, and I'd love to tell the whole story. But in
Yes,
essence,
please.
all of the shelves, everything on the shelves of my life fell off. And I said, now what? And so what I did is I had to turn inward and I faced all of everything. And some of it was a conscious choosing to face it, and other things were like demons haunting me. And it's going to get
Wow.
graphic, but I'm a catalyst. My
Yeah.
voice is magic. My words are medicine, and that's for all of us, by the way. Pause my story. But abracadabra means I create as I speak. So we're going to
Mm,
stop the story there because I want to tell you what ensued from waking up to today is enlightenment. And
yeah.
I guarantee you will find yourself in that story because it is the 12 archetypes. I'm also an intuitive astropsychologist, and I love to dance in the stars. So we'll talk about that also later
Yes,
on.
please. Yeah.
But that's kind of how I
That's
grew up.
so,
But vocationally,
yeah.
I worked in self awareness and stuff like that. I could tell that story too, like what I did
Mhm.
mostly.
Yeah. I mean, so 2020, this is how it all kind of got started for you, how it was birthed essentially. But prior to that, tell us like what role were you doing? Did you have a W-2 like
Yeah.
all
So,
that? Yeah.
prior to the awakening, I was a stay at home homeschooling mom. I went off to college and acted out a lot of my trauma, a lot of my daddy issues. I was
Hmm.
promiscuous and I was giving myself away. And then I found the best man for me. And it was a
That's so
trauma
awesome.
pairing. It was a trauma
Wow.
pairing, though. And so we kept each other in that. So for Tasha, I had to experience it as feeling trapped. He loved me with
Wow.
everything in him. He poured himself out
Mm,
for me, and he still would to this day. It still does for our children.
I love
However,
that.
I couldn't heal within that relationship. And so, how do I contend with loving and breaking a bond with someone whom I love? So, anyway, the more I realized all those things, I wasn't speaking that language. I was just eating and silencing and numbing and pouring myself into my children and being afraid. And so then, it was wild, but a catalytic moment was when my daughter was born, uneventful pregnancy, and she was dying. And so they whisked me away at it was 6/6/06, June 6, 2006. You know how people love
Wow.
666, right? I go
Wow.
into emergency C-section. And the first time in my entire life, breaking my religious trauma was saying, God, if you give me my daughter, I'll give her back to you. And then next thing I know, I felt the doctor in my abdomen pulling my daughter from me. And I said, ow,
Wow.
and I was out. And so there are
Wow.
moments as I look back, I see that, oh, that's when I was being reoriented by the divine to my path. And then I
Yeah.
fell into ministry. I was a pastor for 3 years, and I
Wow.
loved the relationships I got to build, but I hated having to uphold tradition in a way to where the Muslim who volunteered to serve on my team wanted to be
Mm-hmm.
there and everybody didn't want him there. How do I tell him
Oh.
no with the love of God? Right? And
Oh
how do
yeah.
I have a lesbian couple who want and are called to service and tell them no because of their choice when we all have free choice? So my
Mm-hmm.
beliefs transcended the church with so much respect because I needed that framework. And I recognize many people do need that framework. But mark my
Yeah.
words, today when we record and when you see this message, society's framework is cracking. And there has to be a
Yeah.
voice to speak to that. And so now, vocationally, fast forward to the awakening, I work in my state government's medical marijuana authority. We're a regulatory body in a very conservative state. And I'm proud of what I
Mm-hmm.
get to do because I get to bring two sides together. And I teach enlightenment through whole brain synchronization, left brain, right brain, logic, emotion, all male, female. It's all
Right.
energetics. So I
Right.
teach that, and I also teach heart brain coherence. And now what science is showing us is that the lay person can do this. We just need a mindset shift. And so, again, the timbre of my voice, the fact that I create vibration in this energetic consciousness
Yeah.
in a way that people can resonate with it, I speak the message of embodied emotional intelligence. And so that's how I teach it in the state. And that's how we bypass the hyper spirituality of enlightenment and also incorporate it to the logical understanding of emotional intelligence to where it's embodied in the human, and that's divine.
That's so amazing. That
I
is
feel
so
like going.
amazing.
All I
And
need is a beat behind me. Can you drop a beat behind me and it's like a freestyle? Like, can we just
I know, right? I'm like,
it's beautiful.
you're a natural. Obviously, you're very, very passionate when it comes to what you do, and there's a lot of people like myself who I think needs to better understand that whole thing. And the fact of the matter is the the voice that you have now, and us being able to use this platform to share that is going to be, I think it's going to be very helpful. And for the people though, like let's say for people like myself who wants to further and deeper understand this topic in particular, what are going to be your suggestions, like advice for us?
Yes. Okay. So there's a few things.
Yeah.
Just going to break it down very simply into three things. And then I'm going to give you a way to stay connected if you want help with these three things. Know yourself. So that means getting still and being with yourself and
Mm.
understanding who the self is and then who is observing the self. So get
Yeah.
used to seeing the self and then your awareness, being aware, because enlightenment is the awareness that arises when we pay attention, and it's a soft, gentle focus. Anyway,
Yeah.
your soul leads this journey. So then the next step is that once you know yourself, you start to see what isn't you. So you see yourself
Wow.
and you see the not self. And there's something in the middle of that. And so as you do that, your soul naturally takes you to trusting yourself. So when you know, then you trust. And you will find yourself saying things and doing things that might seem contradictory, but they are for your soul's evolution. So know yourself, trust yourself. And your trust will look different than mine. And so there will be people who cause divisiveness, but trust is always unification. So you trust
Okay.
your truth, and that's you starting to hear the voice of your soul, trust yourself. And then once you know yourself, you trust yourself, then you get to express yourself. And that's so fun because it just happens out of you. Like me, I'm like the damn Care Bear shine. You know that Care Bear that had the Like it just
Yeah,
feels
yeah.
so for me,
Yeah.
that's my vibe. And it has to be because it's what's most luxurious for me. I feel like I get to make love to the world. And that is
I
my
love
divine
that.
feminine, right? That is what the divine feminine does. It's her feminine mystique. It's for you guys right now resonating with this. It's getting your intellect. It's like, can I just dare say foreplay? Right?
Mhm.
To the language we've always spoken, but then bringing it
Yeah.
back into the body. So anyway, expression just happens out of you. But then also wherever you're meant to express your energy, mine is clearly through the throat chakra. Hello, is through the voice.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
some of that is through their hands and the way they serve, and whatever that expression is. Some people, by the way they hold back, is more of their expression to the earth. And in many of them,
Mm.
we understand the practicality of existence, and all of it. So also like Christian mysticism for me was my avenue. So know yourself, trust yourself, and then express yourself. If you are from the Christian narrative, you might explore Christian mysticism. Beware of your labels. Everything, everything. You're just calling it everything. You are Adam in the garden. God gave
Mm.
Adam the ability to name everything. And from that, he created woman. And she reminds him of his words. Anyway, so
Wow.
there's that.
Yeah, I know. That's
Voices.
great. That that's so awesome. I mean, there's a lot of people, as you know, who are not familiar with the higher power, like the higher thinking, this type of mindset, and there's gonna be probably people that you speak to that might think, oh, Tasha's out there, like,
Yeah.
they might not believe these kind of stuff, like uh, how do you react to that, or what do you do? Do you just kind of educate them, or just kind of let people just let them be and find their own lane, or uh, their own beliefs, or how does that work for you when somebody is negative about this kind of thinking?
What a great question. First of all, I think you asking that is your care and your concern for the
Mm-hmm.
audience. You are
Yeah.
speaking to the naysayer, and I get it. And so that just shows your level of empathy. And so, in response to that question, how I respond to someone maybe negatively receiving my message
Right.
is always checking myself first. And if I feel it in my heart, that's a run of energy. I hit the mic. That's a run of energy.
Yeah.
And so I have to say, what is this energy? Is my energy to how do I want to respond? Not how do I want to
Yeah.
react, but how do I want to
Hmm.
respond? Someone says something negative to me, and if it's just flippant, then some of those things are easy to bat off. But let's just
Right.
say someone goes for the jugular, right? And they say something and they use something evil or that feels evil that I perceive to be evil. I want to
Right.
sit with that and understand that I can alchemize, I can heal that the way that Christ healed. I can meet it with love for myself. Oh, Tasha, that hits your inner child. That hits that time that you never felt protected or loved or wanted or seen. And
Hmm.
that's putting that owie on the inside. And if they're still doing something on the outside, your response, your energetic response will either disarm them and they will become now one who wants to hear your message, or they will have that karma satisfied it and they're off spouting karma elsewhere. They're not my
Yeah.
audience. So if they're my audience, they'll stick around, and if they're not, they've been blessed and released. And the way I see that
Mm.
is the sin has been crucified, and I've created a new neural pathway to responding to that kind of negative attention, to where
Wow.
I don't get it anymore.
Yeah.
I don't have any more negativity around me because I understand that all negativity is just a response, a
Right.
perceived inner response, and that's enlightenment.
I love that. That's a great answer to that question for sure. And no, yeah, because whenever I try to talk to somebody about that, like, I'm not very knowledgeable about um, divine power in a sense. I wouldn't say I'm religious. I'd say I have a relationship with God, and I'm still working on that every single day. But I do believe in frequencies and higher power and energy and everything like that. There are now, because of the fact that I'm starting to open my eyes about this, I'm
Yeah.
meeting more and more people like you who understands it, and I'm like, wow, this is something
Yeah.
that's really worth, like, knowing and understanding.
Yeah.
And
Well, and the cool
yeah.
thing about, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, no, no, you're good.
Okay. The cool thing about where you are in that wonderment is absolutely the space that you get to be in to remember your original truth. So if you're trying and trying and trying and
Yeah.
trying and trying, you're trying, and that's efforting. And I don't care what religion, spirituality, or even if you just live physically in your body, everything tells you to rest and breathe. And that's why we
Right.
teach mindfulness and things like that. So you're where you are is being receptive to your soul taking you on that journey. And I understand the word God could be triggering to people. And I
Yeah.
understand
Yeah.
like that's breaking constructs. And I want to be very
Mm-hmm.
human with you right now. My heart is racing saying this message. This
Yeah.
is me being the Christ, and she might have a God complex. Like I
Right.
get it. People are gonna attack my core identity.
Mm-hmm.
But if I understand who I am, and the same for you, if you understand who you are, then suddenly who you are is never once who you thought you would be or thought you were, because
Yeah.
you are in the moment. So
Mm.
you're always exactly where you're supposed to be and know what you're supposed to know. And when the student's ready, the teacher appears. And then
Wow.
it's so simple. It's just a change of the paradigm.
That is so cool. That is so, so cool. And I personally, I'm very interested for sure. So I'm opening up my mindset into this. I was in the U.S. Navy for years, and um, my mind was very like narrow. Like I had like blinders, because our mission, and we were taught, is like this is the mission in front of us, and that's the only thing we care about at the moment. And that's just kind of been my mentality all the time. Is I never thought about building wealth, opening my mind to other things, being an entrepreneur or a business owner, none of that stuff. So I feel like I'm late in a way, to getting to open my eyes and like learning more about all of this different things. But so it's such a good way now that we have opportunities like this where people can hop on live or a Zoom or a podcast recording where we can enlighten people and talk to them and educate them, right, about different things. So for you, kind of going outside of your specific industry, but more so all in the business mindset, an entrepreneurial mindset, um, like 10x is big. It's a community. Even with 10x, I barely got around this, um, the community, um, not until maybe the end of 2022.
Yeah.
And obviously, this Grant Cardone, he's the head of everything. He started the whole movement, but that guy is very polarizing. A lot of people don't agree with him. A lot of people don't like him just because of the way he speaks, like in front of people and on the camera and all that stuff. But like for you, obviously you attended 10x stages. That's how you and I came across our path, right? Intertwined. And Pete Vargas, great guy. But what gravitated you to attend the 10x stages workshop? Was it because of paid ads that they attracted people, right, with their events? So like tell me your story, how you got around that.
Yes, I'm so happy to tell you that story. I will say one thing, and I will invite you into this conversation, this enlightening conversation,
Yeah, yeah,
because you said you just alluded to not being so entrepreneurially minded, and that you're late. And I just want to invite you to thinking, what does late even mean? Can you make it
mm,
today, right now, in the moment? No, you're
yeah,
always ever in your moment. You're not
right,
late. We're
mm,
supposed to be doing this right now. And I'm supposed to tell you, I too don't know what the hell I'm doing. You wanted to talk about the book that I wrote, and I was like, snap, wrong audience. It was not the right
Y-
Tasha. They didn't need to hear
uh,
that one. But now,
yeah, and
shout out to our girl, Dasha Love, right? We're all doing this together. She's writing my
yeah,
book. Like, bruh, like, I manifested this, and I manifested this moment with you. You manifested this
wow,
because
I
you
love it,
couldn't have thrown yourself into the future back then. You
right,
are a time traveler, but you were using your wand wrong
mm,
because it wasn't serving you.
yeah,
This is a seed. It'll sprout later. However, to answer your question, to next.
wow.
Okay. Do you want to sit with that for a second, or can I just keep going?
No, yeah, guys, look,
I feel like I'm
listen.
busting your chops. I'm sorry.
No, listen to what Tasha just said. You are where you're supposed to be. And in my mind before, and I agree with you completely, 100% concur. in my mind before, that was my mindset. I'm
Yeah.
like I feel like it is. I'm so late, you know. I'm like I'm 40 now, and I'm barely like I've only been two and a half years in business. That's what like before. I'm not saying that now that I'm late. My mindset before when I just got started, I felt like it was late. Like, oh, I'm not gonna be successful until maybe I'm like 45, 50 or whatnot. But
Travel in
thankfully,
time, which is
yeah,
totally
yeah.
sweet.
No, but
You know,
thankfully, like for me, somehow because I made the right decision for the most part, I got around the right people, the right coach, the right mentor. It
that feels good.
it sped up my process of success, and
Absolutely.
so that's one of the reasons why I'm a part of 10x now, is because of
You're
the
saying,
yeah the community and the people that's been ahead of me. I came across, built connection, and obviously Grant Cardone and Brandon Dawson have helped me out a lot. But
yeah,
yeah, no, going back to answering your question, but I just wanted to highlight what you just said. It's so
yeah,
powerful that people
yeah.
need to like if you didn't catch that, guys, ladies and gentlemen, go back like a minute or two and re-listen. So that way that'll answer some of the questions that you have in yourself. But
Put
yes,
a
go
beat
ahead.
behind
Sorry.
it. No, put a beat behind it. I'm telling you, it hits better when there's a good beat behind it. I have playlists that are like walk on song, and it feels so
Wow.
seriously self indulgent. But I'm like, not me hyping myself up to have a stage. What?
No,
What
yeah.
10x? What 10x? Right?
You need
So
it. You need it.
here's the deal. I'll tell you this, and I promise I'm going to answer the question. But you're claiming 10x. You're wearing 10x. You have
Mm.
two 10x behind you. I'm not great at math, but that's a whole lot of 10x's behind you. There's a crown behind you. Your values
Yes.
are on display behind you. You're being genuine and authentic, and the energy is flowing through you. That's how you brought me to you, bruh. You
Yeah.
manifested me. You manifested
Ex-
us. I see you grinding on the WhatsApp. That
yep.
damn thing annoys the hell out of me. Yeah, I'm like mute. You know, so
Mm-hmm.
we are all so together and on point. So now I'm gonna
Right.
slide myself into answering your
Yes.
question.
Yes.
What brought me to it was that I heard about the Great American Speak Off, and I'm gonna tell y'all I haven't signed an NDA yet, so I'm gonna talk.
Yeah.
Okay.
There
So,
you go.
anyways, I saw an ad about the Great American Speak Off, and I was
Yeah.
like, and it was like, "Can you inspire the nation?" And I was like,
Yeah.
"Yes." And I'm like,
Yes.
funny. So I signed up. And then I started getting 10x, 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 10x information. And I was like, this is too much. Mama got a full time job. I got three
Right.
kids. My baby's going up to college. Like, I'm so
Yeah.
dramatic about it. So then it was like, I don't even know where the stars were this particular morning, but I was following one of my lovely astrologers that I follow. And he was like, here's this intention setting guide. And I was like, bet. And I just scripted out some stuff. So then it was like, go back to this date and time, this date and time,
Mm.
this date and time. And every time I go back, I haven't had, sorry, I don't have a lot of lucid memories that I just grab from my childhood or certain years. I have to have a trigger to remember those times. So
Yeah.
I pull up my pictures on my phone, and every time of those times, I'm on stage with a damn microphone in front of my face, and I'm
Yeah.
talking to an increasingly larger crowd. And it was like, speak off is in 15 minutes because 10x knows what's up, and they flooded my calendars with all these invites. And I was like, I'm not gonna do it. I'm telling you, I'm kicked back on this little chair right here. I still got sleep right here, drool. I mean, sleep in my eyes. And it was like
yeah.
my heart was like, you have to do this. And I was like F, like I knew it.
Yeah.
So then I'm like, I get pretty from like here up, and I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah.
oh gosh. So I get there, and it's like this online thing, and so I'm trying to figure it out, and like Pat comes on, and I'm like, oh, he sounds official, and I'm
Yeah.
like hearing people talk, and I'm so impressed. So then I get kicked out, and then I get sucked back in, and I'm in front of these judges, and like while he's talking, I'm like, let me write down three things real quick. Let me write down three things. Let me put this together because I hadn't planned on doing anything. So then he's randomly calling people in the chat, and so I'm like making sure I'm ready, and I'm sitting like at the desk over here, and he's like Tasha Salinas, and I was like, and I unmuted, and I was like, hey, and he starts laughing, and it's our judge, I mean, and he was like, when you're ready, and I was like, all right, and I just leaned in, I said, did you know that abracadabra means I create as I speak?
Mm.
He's like, no. I said, yes. I said, it does. And I said, hi, I'm Tasha Salinas. And I don't even know what I said. I just opened up
Yeah.
and then I stopped. And then I stopped. And I was like, thank you. And he was like, whoosh. And like, I felt the room, like I felt it. And he was like, abracadabra, huh? I said, yeah. And he goes, I'm not going to forget that. And I'm never going to forget you. And I was like, mute, oh my God, like what happened? Whoosh. And I was like, shit. And I've
Wow.
known that I've been a channeler and stuff. So I was like, okay, so I'm supposed to do this thing. He throws us back in there. They put the names on the thing and I got a golden ticket. So then they say it's sponsored by 10X. And if you got a golden ticket and if you're not going to be trained, you're an idiot. Essentially, they didn't say those words. But you're an idiot because we're going to tell you what we're judging on. And I'm like, say less. Well, I'm also a single mom. I'm also someone that has dreams of having a business, but they're dreams and I have a full-time job. I'm living a very separated life. Work and home. You know what I mean? Personal, private, professional.
Yeah.
I'm living all this. So then I just say, I look at the astrology and I see the dates for this. I see the dates for October and I see the dates for December, the next 3 trainings. And I know the astrology for those times.
Yeah.
Just because they're rumbly, and I'll tell you why. It's not fear, but they're rumbly. And I was like, I'm going to Miami, so I put it on the credit card, and just hopes and beliefs that I'm investing in myself.
Yeah, you are. I think so.
10X got me. Y'all roped me in. Y'all treated me like a queen from the jump, but I wasn't VIP, and I said, oh hell no, y'all gonna feed me. So then I became VIP, and that elevated my experience. And I'm like, this is all going on the credit card. But no, I'm in Miami at a multiplier. I'm at a freaking catalytic event.
Yeah.
I can do this. I can do this and just like be myself. And I was like, I'm going to live it. And this woman came out of me who I always know. I've loved her since the start. She's always guiding me. My ideal self. Radiant. I'm telling you, radiant. And I connected with so many of you guys, the 10X people there. And it was not about, yes, what we learned, yes. But then also those connections, because the learning, the integration is the feeling and experience of it. And I think so many of us are called to our work, that we are blast heart open. And I'm 43, Jay. Okay, so don't tell me about being 40 and what, you know what I mean? Like, we are
sis, you look
down.
You don't even look like you're 40, but amazing. Great job. But go ahead. Sorry to interfere.
Flow if you let me, but thank you.
Please, no, please do. No, this amazing, guys. Like this is so cool. Like listening to your story and everything. So yeah, please. I'm just listening in like an audience, like everybody else. I'm like, let's go. This is your show. Let's go. Let's tell us some more. No, yeah. So tell us some more, please. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, let me finish. Okay, yes. Thank you for this because yes, just thank you for the space to speak. Yes. It's tattooed on my body. I'm not going to take off my watch, but 15 years ago I went to a retreat thing and I was so inspired, and at the time the message was not what it is now. I thought it was to start speaking. At that point the message was to shut up and listen because God's speaking to you. And that humbled 15 years. So anyway, back to our thing, and now I get to speak. So we're meeting these people and these relationships. And so 10X got me to the first night. The next day I go there, but I was off. I was feeling funky that second day. And I know that I didn't have any triggering, like yucky feelings, but more like, holy crap, I can do this. I was like, ugh. But I woke up not feeling like myself, but I didn't sit in that because I'm like, I know something's up. And I also knew the very next day was the 8-8 Lionsgate portal. Astrologers, like there's always a spiritual part of it. And it's a very innovative moment to where we're all being clicked into alignment to really navigate the changing of the ages. And this is where astrology, mark my words, will be taught in school very soon.
I hope so.
Now we need the energetic. Nikola Tesla says, if you want to understand the secrets of the universe, think in times of energy, frequency, and vibration. And now it means something to be driving a Tesla. Mark,
that's right.
He comes to me all the time. He's my lover. He's one of my lovers. Right?
He's very amazing.
Back to the friends. So it's 8-8 portal. And then I sit down and I meet this woman, and Tiffany. And if you don't have her on your thing, I'm going to make sure you get connected with her. But I was like, I look at her and Grant's not on yet.
Yeah.
And I heard something and I look at her and I'm just so overwhelmed with emotion. I said, I think I'm going to cry. And she goes, let's go. And I was like, oh, okay, let's go. Cause like if somebody starts running, you start running. I don't care. So I was like, we're going. And I left my phone and everything. And she thought we got outside. She thought I was going to cry from like something's up. But I was like, I'm so full of gratitude. And she started sharing her story with me. And I was like, oh, she misread my energy. But that formed a connection. And that
Wow.
created a connection. And that created a connection. When I tell you the rest of the day took off like a zip tie, I'm hanging out with BTBY, Becoming the Better You. I need to drop their thing, all connected. It's
Yeah,
Brenda.
yeah, Brenda.
It's Brenda. I'm sorry, my brain is all over the place. I have a very fast moving mind.
Yeah.
Some call it ADHD. I need Grant to come in here. Grant, Stonebreaker. Anyway,
That's her superpower.
it is my power, but it goes so fast that I got to make sure I go to the point. So I'm a hummingbird.
Yeah.
Let me get back to it. So I'm meeting Brenda, meeting Grant, all these things. I'm on a yacht, living like a queen. I'm wearing a white bikini. Sir, I used to weigh 268 pounds, and I'm on a yacht in Miami in a white bikini.
Thanks for the invite.
Grant told me, he said, I'm here because I'm not going to phrase it so eloquently as he did, to help people's dreams come true or help them experience their dreams come true or something along those lines. And that resonated
Right.
with the 12-year-old Tasha, who her very first email password was dreamer. Like, I've been a dreamer
Oh,
my whole
wow.
life.
Wow.
Dissociation is not dissociation, it's dreaming. It's manifesting and understanding that you are the one who's working the constellation that is the person on earth. So anyway, I'm living the life of my dreams. I'm on a yacht, and it's just hitting me, and I'm seeing me and like some of the men, how we're interacting. Old Tasha kind of would have been a hoe for a minute, but that's not, you know what I mean? But like,
Yeah, yeah.
that sacral, that creative, almost sensual, sexual energy, the flow of the masculine, feminine, the energies. And so I'm so energetically sensitive that knowing it's our time, that's what collaboration and connection is. So I don't know if I
Yes.
was brought for 10x. I don't know if I was brought to win the speak off. If I am, holla at your girl. But if not, it's the energetic shift, and it's to like play the game. When you
Gotcha.
know it's a game, you can't be played.
Yeah.
When you know the rules, you can't be played. But this is
Mm-hmm.
provocative information. And so
Yeah.
it takes the collective to love one another, because there's always a shadow side. Because in the beginning, God created the light and the dark.
Yeah.
So we create the dark with our narratives, with our thinking, because we've been given the ability to speak it into existence. Thank you.
Wow. That is so cool. Yeah, no, I
Anybody thinks anything's wild, it's just the high vibes. I brew my own kombucha. I promise. It looks like beer, and I'm
oh
so
yeah.
excited.
I kombucha is really good for your health. So if you're trying to lose weight and cleanse and everything else, I knew a lot of people that use that. But so cool. That's so cool. I believe in manifestation, manifesting, and how powerful our mind is. That's why I'm like, all right, I really gotta learn the science and the energy behind all of this stuff. So this is very very cool. And yeah, no, you are. I mean, it seems like this trajectory of this path is like starting to like glow and flow towards your side. So I definitely think that people need to learn and get educated more about this. But
Yeah.
for people that are trying to like, let's say, to learn more about you, do you use any other platform where you educate people? Let's say like Facebook or Instagram or whatnot. Like, how can people find you just to connect with you and everything?
I love the question once again. So I'm new to the socials. Like, I'm just your average 40. I've been your average 43-year-old mom who's just like showing my kids and stuff. And so now, once I realized I had an audience, I'm in
Yes,
the in between of handling that. So you're more than welcome to follow me. I have all the settings shown to where you're just going to see the real me, because that's all I'm ever going to offer you.
I love that.
TikTok,
Yeah.
I'm at She Speaks 99. So She Speaks 99, or you can just search my name. And then also just on Facebook, Tasha Salinas. Um, yeah, that's kind of how to find me. But I will say to my star family, if there's anybody who is into social media, I'm gonna put the ask out there. Like, we got to figure something out, because I don't know how to work it, and so I want to just invite collaborative efforts in that regard. I don't know how to handle it. I don't want to come that far down to earth. I want to dance in the stars and have the team assemble.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we can definitely, I personally can help you out with that. So that's one of the reasons why we got connected because if you just look at my socials, that's what I teach actually, content marketing and having a brand, on different platforms. So if you ever look up Jay Real a bit on Google or just on LinkedIn, you'll see there's like a trend of everything else of what I represent in the last 3 years. And yeah, I'm more, I'll be more than happy to help.
Everybody had to see this personal conversation because that was asked apparently directly to you.
Well, no, I heard you, and I'm here to support and help. I love being able to help other, who especially who I personally think who's got a voice that people need to hear. I'm like, let me help you out, just to give back to the world because I believe that you are able to help others, and if I could help like get the foundation started, the fundamentals of like social media for you, I'm here to help. No problem. Easy day. That's what we've been doing, and that's what we also uh, get paid for with our clients. And but you are not a client. You are a connection that I built through 10x stages, and I'm more than happy to help. So um, but yeah, no, I love this conversation that we have, Tasha, and I definitely would love to see and hear you like speak on stages live. You got the golden ticket, so for the people that are listening, that's not very easy to receive, right? So for the people that have seen maybe other shows like America's Got Talent or American Idol, right? Essentially, that's the same thing. A lot of great speakers get together around the world, or I would say probably United States mainly, and maybe Canada, with Pete Vargas and Grant Cardone. Basically, what they do. This is fairly new, guys. If you are listening, if you have a voice, if you feel like you could be in front of people virtually, digitally, or in person live, they have this speak up challenge. I think it's very cool. I got to see it live in person 2 years ago at GrowthCon, where all of the top speakers on stage competed, and they were, having that platform to speak in front of maybe I don't know. I would think there was probably 20,000 people in person. And then virtually, I don't know, probably another maybe 300,000. I don't know. There's a lot of people being able to speak on a platform like that, Tasha. I think like you can grab it, like you can attract so many people's lives and attention just to do that. But anyway, yeah, the Great American Speak Out, Tasha got a golden ticket, so she's gonna be involved moving forward. And if she makes it all the way to the finale, I think this is going to happen at GrowthCon in Las Vegas next year. So, and I believe that is the last GrowthCon happening from rumors around the 10x community. But I don't know why it will be the last one. But I'm thinking they're building something much even bigger than this. But yeah, Tasha, so exciting! I love that. I think you're a great speaker. I think you're a natural at this, and I wish you all the best as you move forward with the competition. Nonetheless, though, you now like have a platform. I feel like we need to get you established on like Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Facebook, all of that stuff.
Yeah, yeah. Absolutely. I love that. Thank you so much. I just want to pause real quick. I had no idea the speak off was all of that. I knew
Oh,
GrowthCon. I learned about that at the conference, at the 10X conference. But
yeah.
when I auditioned, got the ticket, I literally had no idea. And y'all just caught me on camera losing my chili. Like, oh, I didn't know it was that many. What? What?
Yes.
Like
Yes.
that's wild. But that's what healing gets you. You're like,
Yeah.
oh shit. So thank you for
So
that. I feel esteemed and honored to have heard that. Thank you.
yeah, and you got a golden ticket, girl. It's a big deal. It's a big deal.
It is a
It,
big deal. Sorry, you asked a question. How I also have the coaching practice, my coaching, my one-on-one coaching, and it's all
good.
virtual that I offer. So that's if
Awesome.
anybody is touched by this, find me on any of those things, and I'm happy to offer. Right now, I've got 3 open slots for that coaching, that one-on-one enlightenment coaching. But it's
Yes.
very personalized and high energy, but very easy and effortless. So
Yes, there you go. And we'll link Tasha's basically all of her channels or website or her email phone number if it is available. But yeah, Tasha Salinas, you guys just got to look her up. if you love her energy, her frequency, her vibration, definitely touch base with her. She's very humble. She's amazing to talk with. I feel like you and I could continue on with this for hours, and it's really great. It's really great to be connected with you. In the short amount of time that we've actually talked about what you do, I feel like strongly feel like this is something that a lot of us um, need to understand and experience, or even just at least get educated on what it is. Because I think I believe in it. I believe in all of that, and um, the funny thing is, I just got around it again recently in the last, I guess, maybe the last year, if that.
Yeah.
And so now I'm opening up my eyes. I'm looking into ways to understand better and all of that stuff. But this is so amazing, Tasha. I will say it's been a pleasure having you here. I think maybe we can do a follow up podcast and
Absolutely.
just focus more on your experiences maybe throughout the competition, and maybe like maybe a year from now or less, we can revisit it and see where you at, because I believe in
That's great.
in when you do, when you follow a path and you take the action towards that, a lot could change. My life changed in the last 2.5 years, and I feel like for you, I think this is just the very beginning, and it's going to be very exciting to see where it is, how like the roots is now growing, and things can a lot of things can happen in just a short amount of time, and I've seen it for me personally, and I've seen it with other people as well. So this is going to be very exciting. But one last thing that I'd like for you, the floor is yours, but I want you to speak to our viewers, our listeners, because this is going to be broadcasted live, not live, but uh, the video recording on YouTube, and then the rest in Spotify and Apple Podcasts. But for our viewers and listeners, you have this platform. Uh, any message that you want to give them, advice, tips, or anything at all? The floor is yours.
Thank you so much. First of all, I feel very emotional. A lot of people struggle to receive praise or honor or recognition for being their fullest selves. And the way you just esteemed me, I felt
Oh,
every bit of it. So
it's
thank you.
true. It's true.
And with
Yeah.
that same flood of emotion, I wanna speak to the listener right now and just say that you are safe. It's over. We don't have to learn from pain anymore. We get to just breathe and receive. And it is as simple as changing your mind. And that's scary because your ego will fight you, but you're okay because you're eternal. And that's weird. And weird is okay. And we can talk about this scientifically. This is a soul journey that you don't have to speak to me about it. Your openness to the message is what will help you to remember. I'm a conscious channel. You're a conscious channel. We don't have to look outside of ourselves for power anymore. We create as we speak. And as we allow our energy to be regulated, as I've done in communicating this message to you, we are enlightened. We get to just have fun. Every day is recess. This is the playground. And there's going to be the bullies, but just let them bully. Just let them. They have to be here in order for us to have fun. Because life is one big orgasm, and that's a cycle. So anyway, I'll leave it at that.
Wow.
Thank you.
Your voice is so soothing. Like I'm just like trying to focus on looking at the camera, listening to your voice. Like I'm like, oh, I'm getting the
Y'all need to
chills,
do that.
Tasha. I'm
You
getting the
should
chills.
B-roll that, and it just flows.
Yeah,
And so that's how y'all know. I mean, that's how y'all
yeah.
know.
No, for sure. That is so cool. Um, you need to have your very own platform. You need to highlight your platform. Um, I
It'll come.
It's just gonna be amazing. Yeah, I'm here to help if you decide to move forward with like just
Yeah.
making having your own stage and your own. I don't know, maybe even your own podcast, self podcast. You don't have to interview a lot of people, but just you educating people. I think that's going to be very strong.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah. Thank you
uh,
so much.
it's needed. It's needed.
Yeah,
And
I
your voice is so
know.
soothing. I'm like, dude, I could listen to her every night before, like if I want to relax. And
It's so funny. Somebody told me yesterday or the day before, like they're addicted to my voice, and I'm like,
it,
that's great.
Tasha,
Like
like
they're talking. Like,
if I'm not the only one who, like, if who's ever told you that, that's a sign,
well, thank you
it's
so
really
much.
cool. And you don't have to be on video. You could just like have a
Right?
podcast on Spotify, get started, and you're just
Yeah.
speaking on the mic.
And I'll tell you one thing though. This is also the community thing. When you know yourself, you know what you're good at and what you're not good at. I have to have an ask, a question. The way my magic flows is there has to be something for me to respond to. If I'm just
Mm,
dancing and dancing, y'all aren't with me. But if you want to
yeah,
know something, you ask a question, and that hooks me in your timeline, and I get
right.
to channel right where you are. So yeah.
There,
So the answer is yes, but it's always still collaboration.
yeah. Well, you know what? That's that you get the Q&A portion of things. Like I said, like I'm very um
Technology.
knowledgeable in all of these things. So I'm here to help. Like you can
Hey,
do the stories live, all of those amazing things, and get random
Jay,
people.
if you want to be my manager or whatever it's called, Jay, just say that.
I know, right? I know. Hey,
Hired.
I don't want to. I don't want a paid role to do all these other things, but I'm definitely here to help. And yeah, so it's one of those things I gotta see. Like I said, you and I could just continue on. We could have another hour of this podcast, but
Yep.
I think we're gonna have a number two. But yeah,
Yeah.
frequency energies. You're enlightening people, Tasha. This is so cool. But I appreciate you being here. I know you're out there in Oklahoma City. I'm all out here in California, but nonetheless, I definitely would love to continue to connect with you and help you, and vice versa. I know you. There's so many things that in my mindset that I can open up and get enlightened by you. So I appreciate your time being here on Real Talks podcast. I hope our viewers, our listeners, got some amazing nuggets here today. If she didn't touch you, I don't know what's wrong with you. Just kidding, but definitely reach out to Tasha Salinas. She is on Facebook. She's gonna work on her other platforms as well. But stay tuned for her and stay tuned for more episodes of Real Talks podcast. Until later on, until the next time, we'll see you again soon. Take care.